Alright, what's going on, y'all? Minutes with Mellon. Try to take long ass video, make it shorter. But Jesus Christ, there's a lot to get into. There's just too much shit going on, dude. Like, you can't even make a video like once a week. You'd have to make one like every day just to keep up with all this shit. Since the last week, Kamala Harris taken over. She's basically president now without actually being president, because Biden's has no clue what the fuck he's doing. Stock market crashed. Trump's done an interview and just thrashed this fucking lady for she just came out completely rude. Shit. That's like half of it. I can't. I'm not gonna go in the other half. I'm just gonna play videos. I'll just shut up and play videos. Oh wait, where's the where's the mole? Because we're gonna burrow. I'm gonna burrow right into this. Oh, well, that didn't work. Oh well, I'll play it later. Anyways, here we go.
Mr. President, House Speaker Johnson says your Supreme Court reform is dead on arrival. What's your reaction, sir? Speaker Johnson said it's dead on arrival.
Yes, he is.
That he is?
Dead on arrival.
How are you gonna get this done?
That's not everything I've ever touched. That's good. How you feel, Vice President Harris is doing, Mr. President?
I can't understand what the fuck he's saying. Speaker Johnson said it's gonna be dead on. Oh, he is. What? Even the reporter's like, what? The fuck are you talking about? Where's the other one? Not that. We're gonna end with that one.
Points.
This is just an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. This is an incredible day.
Meanwhile, Joe Biden, dazed and confused as always, attempts to reboard the same plane he just disembarked 5 minutes ago.
Oh, he didn't. Oh, fuck. He's so fucking gone, dude. He's so gone. What the fuck?
Yep, the deception pretty much plays in front of your very eyes every day. Now I know some people are explaining this clip as Joe Biden was just going back up to speak to the pilots in the cockpit, which okay, sure, that could be an explanation, but he could have also very well just been dazed and confused as always. Whether there's a plausible explanation for this clip, or really any other isolated clip, well, it doesn't really discount the macro view that Joe Biden is clearly ill, and these people lied about it. Kamala Harris has had her fake smile on, what it is that she's actually done. It's a deception. And that's not the only deception. You know, you might have noticed that Kamala Harris kind of still universal healthcare for all citizens and also all illegal migrants. You know, sure, PolitiFact is claiming that anyone who says that is engaged in pushing soft misinformation, as they've rated the statement mostly false. But screw the freaking fact checks, we got eyeballs and ear holes.
Must be addressed.
The bill also says, quote, every individual who is a resident of the United States is entitled to benefits for health care services under this act. Not every individual who's a citizen, but every individual who's a resident. So you support giving universal health care, Medicare for all, to people who are in this country illegally?
Let me just be very clear about this. I am opposed to any policy that would deny in our country any human being from access to public safety, public education, or public health, period.
I don't care.
She promised that.
You are about a subject. You are dead fucking wrong. Hey, just come to America. We'll pay for all of your fucking medical bills. Like, what fucking sense does that make? You are the dumbest fucking person ever. Like, ever. So anyway, it just goes on to talk about how fucking retarded she is. That one's funny. We'll play this one next.
4 years ago, Trump claimed that the stock market would crash if Joe Biden was elected.
You know what? I'm not so far away from that again, believe it or not. But if Biden gets in, the market will crash.
Okay, so this isn't the only time that Trump said this.
Have a stock market collapse, the likes of which you've never had. You will have a collapse.
Okay. So Donald Trump has made that prediction. Joe Biden, just a few days ago, said this after exiting his coffin at the White House to make a statement.
Come over, you have seen her so late.
Mr. President, what do you want your legacy for Jim
Cure the economy.
What do you want your legacy to be? And Joe Biden says in a creepy haze, I got it. Okay, great. Maybe you could cure yourself from whatever horrible thing you are suffering from. Anyway, so Joe Biden's body double, says that he cured the economy. Let's go ahead and check in on so we've heard from Trump, we've heard from Biden. Both those guys have their own opinions. Let's go check on the markets, which don't lie.
What some would call history in the making. Scary. Don't say that.
We have never been down 1,000 points ever, not even intraday on the NASDAQ.
Is that true?
That is true.
Okay. Down 6% right from the get-go. This is heavy big tech. Here we go. Look at them go down. Microsoft is down $20. That's 5%. Alphabet, 5%. Meta, 6%. Amazon, 6%. Apple, 9% down. Let's pull out Apple. This is interesting. A question for you.
Okay, so how fast do you think Camilla's team will delete this? How fast do you think it's going to take for them to actually delete this? Because Trump's right. The current situation. Stocks are falling like we're entering a global recession. Gold prices are falling like there's no volatility at all. The VIX is rising like markets are in 2020 and 2008 conditions, the last collapses. Oil prices are falling like demand is about to collapse. Treasury yields are falling like rate cuts are on the way. Tech stocks are falling like the AI bubble has burst. And this is a massive run to the sidelines. Everybody is saying, nope, we're screwed. The market is in total and complete free fall this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, Everything is collapsing. This is what you get when the market factors in. Dow futures plunged 1,300 points. Everything's on fire. Russell futures down, and Tokyo. Oh man, stock markets are. This is what the markets do. The markets factor in red. Got it. So billions in. Okay, it's got almost 1,000. It's 4,000 likes. Here we go. Global market factoring in the horrors of a Kamala Harris presidency. This is exactly what is going on. Uh-oh, says Elon Musk to Jim Cramer. The inverse Cramer is what it's called. But do you know that Kamala is brat? You know she's brat? Do you know it? We did it, Joe. Brighter days are ahead. The literal futures are actually a bloodbath. Okay, you guys like your little bloodbath hoaxes. Here they are.
Fucking hilarious.
This is the second worst day since 1990. Strap in. One person who told you the truth. There's one guy who told you the truth and predicted exactly what was about to happen correctly. And then there are.
Oh shit. So yeah, there's that. Which one? We watched that one. So this is where Trump. So everybody's saying, oh, you had sex with a porn star, blah, 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 about Trump. So he went on and found this. This is posted on his X account. Look what I just found. Will the fake news report it? Official statement of Stormy Daniels. To my concern, over the past few weeks, I've been asked countless times to comment on reports of a relationship I had with Trump many years ago. The fact of the matter is alleged affair denied its existence in 2006, 2011, 2016, 2017, now again in 2018. I'm not denying this affair because I was paid hush money. As has been reported, I am denying this affair because it never happened. Huh. Imagine that. So then he goes on to this the fuck is my dog doing? He goes on to this interview, and she just comes out, don't even say hi, doesn't say nothing, just starts in with this. It's just like, what the fuck? This is how you treat an ex-president nowadays? This is fucking insane.
You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. I've done so much, and and I say this, historically black colleges and universities were out of money, they were stone cold broke, and I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late, just so we understand. I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working or something was
Mr. President,
wrong.
I would love
think
you
it's
can
a
answer
very
the question
nasty
on your rhetoric
question.
and why you
I have
believe that
answered
black
the
voters
question.
should trust you with another
I
4
have
years.
been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act?
And for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work, in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
Yeah, and then she just kept fucking going and going. It was just fucking rude as fuck, man. And then I can't find the clip. It's all over the internet, though, where he's talking about Kamala.
First black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Okay, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a
literally
definition
the words
then. Would you give me a definition
DEI.
of that? Give me a definition.
Sir, I'm asking you a question,
No,
a
you
very
have to
direct
define
question.
it. Define it for me, if you would.
I just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman.
I
She went to a
respect
historically
either
black
one.
college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn, and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do
And
you
I
believe
think,
that
I think
she is
somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some
I really
Republicans have
don't know.
said?
I mean, I really don't know. Could be. There are some, and there are.
Oh, that shit is fucking hilarious. But yeah, the last one is Yeah, that's the same thing. Video from Kill Benny. He went to Butler, Pennsylvania, and he did a fan-fucking-tastic breakdown of what's going on.
Just a football field away from the president. Counter snipers see the threat, but have not engaged. The trigger is pulled. A bullet rips through Trump's ear. Blood splatters Trump's MAGA hat and pours down the side of his face into his hands. Several more bullets riddle the stage. Counter sniper teams engage and miss. Then hit. Trump rises in defiance, fist in the air. Fight, fight, fight. 20 seconds in Pennsylvania will change America forever. Yet the government has told us nothing. In fact, the Secret Service has lied to the American people multiple times about that day. We needed answers, so our team traveled to Butler, Pennsylvania, the assassination site. What we found is worse than you can possibly imagine. Experts in counter-sniper service. Congressman Corey Mills ran counter-sniper operations serving in the Army 82nd Airborne Division and the State Department. Both men have been shot at in war zones and shot back successfully.
I want to get the facts. I want it to be a bipartisan full investigation, but I don't want this to be one of those where we overclassify it so the American people don't have the transparency. Yeah, because they deserve to see this, to be able to, one, have confidence that it wasn't something that was an inside job, or it wasn't something that was just negligence, or it wasn't dereliction of duty, but that they actually can say, I know that my president, future presidents, are actually going to be protected and safe whenever death threats and other types of risks are there. And here's how it happened and what we're going to do to prevent it in the future.
When you get out on that site, if you have even an iota of training on security, long distance shooting, and you get on that property, I mean, you see a water tower that covers the entire premises, basically, you start asking yourself, why the hell wasn't anybody up on that water tower?
So that's what we intend to do with this video, to establish from an expert perspective, what are the questions?
Window that had clear coverage over the shooter. I also want to know where this young 20-year-old kid with no military experience got his training, because I'm hearing he had advanced explosives. I mean, at the end of the day, we've got to figure out how a 20-year-old kid acting alone by himself got within 150 yards. It's one of the most powerful, one of the most loved, but also one of the most hated individuals on the entire planet.
I bind into what the military calls a kill box. A kill box is a three-dimensional target area designed to facilitate maximum likelihood of a casualty event. On July 13th, Trump was in the kill box.
This is shockingly close.
Officer on the roof would have prevented this entirely.
The first location to investigate was the Secret Service sniper's nest atop the red barns behind Trump. The assassin, Thomas Crooks, was an obvious person of interest to law enforcement. He was denied entry to the Trump event by Secret Service and had been flagged by local police for skulking around the AGR manufacturing building with a rangefinder 90 minutes before the shooting. He accessed the roof by climbing up on an air conditioning unit and traversing the interconnected rooftops with a backpack. His movements were slow, lumbering, and obvious to anyone with a line of sight. Crooks even pointed a gun at police officers and rally-goers alike who were filming him from the ground. Police had completely surrounded Crooks by the time he was in position to fire on Trump. New footage recently released shows Crooks atop the roofline of the building 3 whole minutes before firing shots. You can see his head and torso and firearm. The snipers atop the Red Barn location had clear line of sight to engage the shooter, but did not fire until Trump had been shot. We climbed up onto the Red Barn sniper nest.
Whether military or law enforcement, you're told, this is what we're doing, make the best of it.
This is why it's so important as well to have a security team who's willing to push back and say, sir, we don't have enough available resources and assets to secure certain areas. That's where that prioritization of where would I basically, you have to almost put yourself into the mind of someone who would try and make this and say, where would I be? What would I do?
If a trained professional sniper had decided to kill Trump that day, God forbid. We have established beyond a reasonable doubt that President Trump was intentionally put into the kill box on July 13th. So who's responsible for this fatal security plan? Who cut the communication lines? Who kept Trump on stage? And who will be held criminally liable for these deadly decisions? We have so many questions after our investigation of the assassination site, but one thing is crystal clear. There are forces that wanted President Trump dead. The obscene security failures created the conditions for a live TV execution. These failures are unforgivable and have inspired regular Americans to ask questions like this.
Was there a stand-down order, Ms. Cheadle? Was there a conspiracy to kill President Trump?
The head of the Secret Service resigned in disgrace after this question, but her replacement continues the same failed policies that sent a bullet through Trump's head. Not one federal government employee responsible for the assassination attempt on Trump's life has been fired. Gross incompetence is indistinguishable from malevolence. Enough stupid people making decisions together will get innocent Americans hurt or killed. Whistleblowers inside the Secret Service.
Face-to-face briefing with the Secret Service snipers, that never happened, and we had no communication with the Secret Service.
The Secret Service skipped the security briefings and site visits.
That's like one of the most important things. Anyways, yeah. So that's what happened this fucking week. Can't wait to see what happens next week.
You had no communication with the Secret Service.
Alright, y'all.
At all on that Saturday.
The snipers on the roof had no